This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Back to the conversation. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
My question, who ruined the good times for everyone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Peter. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Right on. So my story is from back in high school days. Me and my two buddies met some chicks on Alki Beach. Next day they hit us up, said they got a hotel room, so we rolled over there. You know, we had some fun and everything. I got the bed, my buddy got a bed, and the other dude was in the bathroom with his girl. And anyway, like the day after that, they're calling us. And we're wondering if we want to come out and hang out again. And I grabbed my buddy's phone and I called him some weekend skanks and started laughing. And they got pretty upset and I ruined, the action for everybody pretty much.
Were your buddies mad at you?
Oh, yeah. Then my buddy was pissed. And part of it was because he got the good one, and I got like the mid one. And then my other buddy just got that mongoloid in the bathroom there. Oh, no. So anyway, so I just ruined for everybody. But it was cool. It was, high school, so it wasn't really a big deal.
Okay. That's in high school, it really matters.
It would be a big deal in high school.
Really matters, man.
Oh, that would, yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, just keep your mouth shut. I did not have that problem with my buddies. My friend Leon, man, I swear to God, it never ended up benefiting me. But this dude, he was so ugly. And he would even say, like, I'm ugly. He looked like Worf from Star Trek The Next Generation. And I'm not kidding. He had this big-ass, sloping forehead, you know what I mean? He could, like, stick a cigarette between his eyes, and he could hold it there, which he liked to do in front of everyone. But he was just an ugly dude. And but he was so confident that it always worked in his favor. But I remember I worked this long-ass shift, had a bad night. Normally, we went to the bar together at night. I get home, we share an apartment, and he has the middle bedroom, and it's a shotgun apartment. So to get to my bedroom, you physically have to walk through his. Well, his bedroom has no windows. So I'm trying to be decent, right? And I turn off the lights in the living room, and I open the door to his, and it's a straight line to get to my bedroom door. And I'm walking, and I see this cherry glow on a cigarette, right? He's laying in bed, he's smoking. What's up, man? I'm like, oh, what's going on, Liam? Oh, I had a good night. Then I see a second cherry light up, and there's this chick's voice that I recognize. Hi, Steve. And I'm just like, damn. And then a third cherry lights up on the other side of his ass, another chick that I recognize from the bar. Both of these women were drop dead gorgeous. Like, we knew them for like a year, but I never thought we had a shot. To the point, I didn't even try. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah.
Just hang out with them.
Leon's like, that's what you get for not trying, dog. So, yeah. I see him the next morning. I'm like, what the hell happened? He's like, good things. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. He's like, yep. But that was him. Ugly as hell. They slept with a Klingon. They didn't care.
Who ruined the good times for everyone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
So when I was in the Navy, we used to have to stand watch at the very back of the ship to make sure that nobody fell in. And if they did, we would have to report it. Well, somebody on a trash watch ahead of us had faked going over the side of the ship. They hung their sound-powered phones over the side of the ship and made it break. So it looked like he went over the side of the ship, and he just hid on the ship. So from then on out, they made us put 2 people on each of the life buoy watches so that we couldn't train anybody on any other watches.
No, you got to be kidding. And was that the instant response to this?
Yes.
Now, what kind of trouble?
Even after they figured out that he hadn't fallen over the side of the ship, they kept those 2 watches on.
How long after they discovered him did they implement the new rule? Was it instant?
Oh, before absolutely.
And how much trouble did he get in?
Oh, he got court-martialed. Actually, when we got close to San Diego, somebody saw him jump over the side of the ship because they never found him. We were on an aircraft carrier. There was many places to hide.
Wait.
And they actually,
So he faked like he went over, but then as you guys get close to San Diego, you're saying he seriously went overboard? Or at least no one found his ass again?
No, nobody found him on the ship. And once we got close enough, he jumped over and swam to the shore.
I see. He was hiding on
made a run to Tijuana.
Oh, so he was just going AWOL.
Right.
So his whole plan was, I don't want to be in the Navy anymore. I don't want to be on this boat.
Exactly.
Okay.
Did you guys know this about him before that? Not that but I mean, just like he was unhappy in the military or anything like that?
Well, personally, I did not know him because he was not in my division, and there's 5,000 plus people on board an aircraft carrier, so.
Damn. It seems a bit extreme.
Yeah.
And it's like people that fake their own death and all. Like, I get, if you're faking your own death because, like, the FBI is looking for you, they're closing in, and you're going to do the rest of your life, like, you might as well give it the old college try, right?
Exactly.
But then there's people, was it like Olivia Newton-John's husband?
He faked his own death. I think so. I think they might have found him in Central America.
Oh, they found his. There was a picture of him on the boat. But was it like financial stuff?
He was running from something. It was definitely white collar stuff.
I was going to say, I think it was financial.
He screwed somebody. I think he might have Bernie Madoff somebody. Okay.
All right.
Then there's a story of Rudy Stanko. Rudy Stanko. He took away the closest thing the United States has ever had to an Autobahn. Before 1974, and between 1995 and 1998, the state of Montana did not set specific speed limits on their highways.
Right.
So with the expectation that people just drive within reason. Matter of fact, they might even let you drive with an open container in your car back then.
Yeah.
Okay? But even if you did get pulled over, the ticket was small and did not stay on your record. So if the stretch of road was wide open and there was not much traffic, you could pretty much drive as fast as you wanted. Well, Rudy got a ticket that would have cost him around $70 and would not have stayed on his driving record. Instead of just paying the ticket, he fought it all the way to the Montana Supreme Court.
Oh, come on.
Where they ruled that the state had to set a solid speed limit from there on out.
Because what's his name?
Rudy Stanko.
Stanko.
Our question, who ruined the good times for everyone else? 206-421-ROCK.
Come on, Rudy.
That sounds like a guy that would ruin good times. Hello, Amanda. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hola, yes we can.
Ken this time.
Oh, hi, my sexy bitches.
Oh, hello.
Amanda.
She was just talking to me and Tad Miles, sorry.
I just wanted to bring it back to the whole airport thing and not serving alcohol on the planes.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, because the amount of times the flight attendant actually comes to you is probably once or twice the whole flight. I worked at the local airport and worked for an international flight company, and people from the time they check out to the time they start boarding, I don't know what they're doing, but probably getting wasted because half the time when we do our flight count and make sure all the passengers were on, because they're paying, if it was to Frankfurt, Germany, and if they're paying that much, it's like thousands of dollars to go. We want to make sure everybody's on there,
That's nice of you to do.
Sometimes they lag.
Sure.
But sometimes you get, a few people that are nervous about the flight and get a little jittery and want to shake it off, and we end up having to go out, and there's one, we'll get our advisor will say there's one person missing, 2 people missing, this or that. We'll go around the airport trying to look for them. And this one time, there was only one single person missing, which is weird because normally it's a family with kids. And we were looking up and down the escalators at the S gate and back and forth. Couldn't find anybody. And then we checked again, and we found a guy that was going up the down escalator with no shoes on. completely wasted, and I was like, this is our guy.
You just
That's
knew
him.
instantly.
So you put him on the plane, right?
No, you can't put him on the plane after that.
Good.
When it's international like that, like we have cops at the gate that are doing facial recognitions. There's like 3 or 4 cops.
Yeah. Well, good thing you didn't get on the flight because you probably would have ruined it.
What is the weirdest or worst situation you had to deal with on a flight?
Oh, well, it's kind of weird, but somebody, when we clean up the planes and stuff and take their plates and all that, like an elderly woman had lost her dentures, so I had to go through the recycling bin and try to find them.
Well, that's not the worst thing.
I found them, and then I rinsed them off and gave them back to her.
Can't you just say we didn't find certain things? I'd be like, yeah, just give me a minute. Like if it's dentures or anything like that.
We were in an airport bar one night, and we heard our names over the loudspeaker.
Yep.
Stephen Hill, Miles Montgomery. We're like,
I wonder what they want.
And then we go to the gate, and they're like, and their doors open, like, you gonna get on the plane?
There was
like, oh
no one there.
I mean, like we sat on the plane, we sat down, like they started taxiing out.
I can't believe they waited, right? It's not like we were first class. I mean, it's just regular coach, right? So they pay, and we're at the bar across from the gate, but somehow neither of us noticed everyone getting up, standing in line, and then disappearing. We did not see this at all.
No.
So we hear our names. We look over, and I'm like, where the hell is everyone? And they were very nice, right? They're like, okay, go ahead and board. And when we get on, the stink eye you get.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know how long we must have delayed the flight, but typically after you board a plane, it's still 10, 15, 20 minutes of waiting. Right?
They shut that door, and we were out.
I mean, seriously, we buckled our seatbelts, and our plane started moving. We're like, sorry.
Then I told you, me and Will, we were same thing, but we missed our flights.
Yeah.
Like, I did it, right? This was in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So it's not a huge airport, but we're there the day after the cocktail party, having a blast. I missed my flight. Then, again, a very attractive woman shows up and goes, I'm nervous. Will you two do shots with me? And we were like, yes. She leaves. He misses his flight. And at this point, because we got to go back out and kind of rebook them. So this was 2007, 2008. So I don't have like a smartphone.
Yeah.
And they were like, do not miss the flight again. And then to the point of like, they're very nice about it, but they kept coming up to us and being like, your flights are in an hour.
Right.
Like, tab out. And we're like, oh, you guys are the best. And they're like, seriously, you two are going to be stuck at this damn airport all night.
Right. Who ruined the good times for everyone else? 206-421-RIDE.
By the way, for the record, the woman made her flight.
Of course she did.
On time.
Yeah.
How many shots did you do with her?
3.
3? Nice.
Right. It was like 3.5 an hour. She rolls out. We miss flight.
Hello, Marvel. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So, me and a bunch of buddies, we used to party all the time, and I had a buddy named Billy. And this was a guy, once he got drunk, he'd actually butt bomb his own windshield. And one time we were like, dude, Billy, come back down the hill. And he just walked up there, and he got into a confrontation with someone, and we went to go get him. He hauls off and punches this dude in the face. And the guy thinks that we're coming up to help our buddy jump him, and so he kicks it in reverse. Me and my other buddy go through this dude's back window. So in the end, I get 6 stitches in my hand, and I have to get an MRI because I went head first through a window. And to this day, we never drink with Billy again.
Yeah. Trust me, there's a small list that I have.
You are going up there to just get your friend out of the situation. This dude, and I understand the guy's concern, and you ended up going through the back windshield of his car?
Yeah, because he kicked it in reverse, thinking we were coming to jump him. So he figured he was just going to run us down.
Dang, sounds like he did. And did he take off after that?
Yeah, he took off, got out of there like a bat out of heck.
Yeah.
Bad out of heck.
Yeah. After he pushed you out of the window.
God damn, man.
See, this is why you got to be careful of who you hang out with.
Now,
it just depends on the situation.
You hate to sound judgmental.
But it's true.
But I'm in this position but it's the name thing, man. Right? There's William. Now you're an adult. You can be William, you can be Willie, you can be Will, you can be Bill. If it's Billy, it's kind of like the Eddie or the Vinny. And just feel like in a group of adults, if the guy voluntarily goes by Billy, you go, that's the guy that's going to get us into trouble.
If they keep their juvenile name.
Yeah, that's
the name that their parents called them when they were 5 years old.
I mean, at one point,
You know what I mean?
people called me Stevie, right? I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
I'm 52. If I tell you to call me Stevie, like, I'm going to get you into trouble. Just understand that. And I have drugs on me. That is just how I read the situation. And I would say, honestly, God, as stupid as that is, about 85% of the time, you're right.
Think about it. John does not have cocaine.
Johnny does.
Johnny's got a lot.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Who ruined the good times for everyone else? 206-421-ROCK.
John drives an Uber.
Mm-hmm. Johnny drives a Corvette.
From 1989.
Yeah, Johnny still is single.
Johnny is in Karate Kid.
Mm-hmm. Johnny's
right, exactly.
Johnny's been engaged 4 times.
Mm-hmm. Never married. Hello, George. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola!
So I got a good one for you.
right.
I'm a healthcare worker, I work in the OR with the doctors doing surgery. We have this incredible suctioning device that allows us to suction the blood during surgery to allow us to do our job. This thing is powerful. I mean, so powerful it can probably suck a watermelon through a straw.
I knew her once.
Exactly. So one day I come into work and the machine is gone. In fact, all the machines in the entire nation is gone. There's been a massive recall on this great suctioning device because a nurse decided to hook up a chest tube to the suctioning device.
And
now,
basically what? Completely collapse someone's lungs?
Yeah. Yeah, it sucked out the lung.
Why do you think... What do you think she was thinking? Do you think she did not know or mistook what the machine was for? Or do you think she thought she was being innovative?
You know what? I honestly thought that it was probably an innovative kind of thing. It's like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's not draining properly. We honestly don't know what could possess someone to even do it because we know for a fact that once you put in a chest tube, it's supposed to drain on itself. The body will actually push out the fluid because the lungs will expand, the chest cavity will, drain itself, just like, on TV we see. But this person decided to attach it to the chest tube, collapse the lung, suck some stuff out because it's really powerful, and sadly the patient died.
Well, of course.
Well, yeah.
You sucked the lung out of their body.
But is there any way, and look, in every industry and in every item that we buy, like, look, if my kid repeatedly sticks a fork into her eyeball, I would not ask for the world's silverware companies to recall forks. I would do the best I can to re-educate her and explain. She doesn't use a fork anyway because she's all about using her hands, but it's not the fork's fault. So, like with the suction machine, how many years had the medical industry been using this before one idiot made a really bad decision?
Well, the thing is, it was actually brand new. It was the greatest thing we ever had because before the suction device, we had this old piece of crap that some hospitals still use, and it just doesn't do the job as well. Right. And this thing was fantastic. So it was brand new, maybe about a year or two since it came out. But once this happened, it was a nationwide recall. They didn't bring it out until a year later, where the software, when you turn it on, there's a nice screen on that says, do not attach to chest tube or drainage device.
But there's a reason for warnings on everything. It's because something happened.
My wife's deodorant, it was sitting in the bathroom this morning. I'm brushing my teeth. I looked down and read it, and it had directions. And I thought, I've got to read this. What do you think it said?
To open cap, screw it.
Not all that. Just said apply underarms.
Okay.
And I thought, you know what? You guys need to specify armpits. Because people start putting it under their elbows.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a question for you. Since you're in the OR, and typically if you're going to go in for a surgery, you're going to be put under anesthesia, which means you're going to be knocked out. So, in my lifetime, since I've been 12 years old, 95% of the time, if I am out, if I go to sleep, if I pass out, I wake up and I have an erection. All right? So, Ted, don't think about this on your red eye. But how often does that actually happen in surgery? Because I'm asleep, right? I'm out. So my question is, because I don't know what's going on, and then they wake me up, and sometimes when they do wake me up, what I mean?
You've been asleep.
I have an erection. You know what I mean? I've been asleep. So is that a common thing?
After surgery, I'm not really sure. But I've actually had an experience where it happened during surgery.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because you're out.
It happened during surgery. I did a urology case, and the urologist doing his thing. He has this device that goes down, the hole, and apparently the patient just liked it or something, and he got an erection, and it swallowed everything.
Damn. Do you ever feel
he took the catheter out?
I'm sorry?
What did it do to the catheter now?
Oh, it wasn't a catheter. It was a sound. It was like the metal rods.
Oh.
It was a dilator.
Is some part of you, like, when they wake up to say, hey, the surgery was successful? Quick side note. We found out something you're interested in.
That's what I'm saying.
You might not have known this before, but your response to this particular thing is you like it.
The doctor doesn't come in and tell you the truth. Yeah, the success. Yes, it was a success. Did you fart the entire time? What did you have for dinner last night? And why did you have an erection for the entire 2.5 hours in there? You're like, they don't give you all the information.
Do you even want to know?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Call people in from down the hall. Look at this guy's erection. It's crooked.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it if like when you're done surgery and they're like, how you doing?
Right.
Like, are you okay? Need a pain pill? 'Cause you a freak. You really like that.
Yeah. Who ruined the good times for everyone else? 206-421-ROCK. When we come back, the Odyssey World premiere of the brand new Volbeat.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
0.9 KISW. Yeah! You're in the men's room.
Drunk couple in a water park in Sandusky, Ohio got into a brawl last week after someone tried to cut in line. Both of them ended up getting knocked out. Police say 23-year-old Brittany Cabay and 24-year-old Zach Colson were heavily intoxicated when the fight started. Not clear if they cut in line or if someone else did, and we also don't know who threw the first punch. Either way, there is footage of Brittany trying to hit a guy who basically body slams her as she nailed her head on the pavement. Then Zach gets knocked out when he attacked an EMT and hit his head on the ground. Once he woke up, he also punched a cop. Jeez. Then he got tased and arrested. They also arrested Brittany as well. She's facing charges for aggravated menacing, disorderly conduct while intoxicated. He's facing even more charges. And he had a warrant out for his arrest in Michigan for stealing a car.
Damn.
Our question, who ruined the good time for everyone else? 206-421-ROCK.
I can only hope he did not know that he had a warrant out. I feel like if I knew I had a warrant out for my arrest, I would be as good of a citizen as I could possibly be, right? Because the idea is I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, but he also steals cars just kind of to steal them.
Okay, yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, that's the difference.
I know, man. It just, look, and again, it's not that you're trying to condone criminal behavior, but if you're going to do something, do it well. You know what I mean? So, like, if you're going to commit crime, like, just do it well. Maybe you get caught because there was sharp police work or something, but not because you're a moron.
Exactly.
Like, don't leave your cell phone behind at the scene of the crime. Don't live stream it on Facebook. Like, just commit your crime. If you don't get caught, good for you. If you do, you got caught. That's all.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds dumb, and I feel like I'll even have that conversation with my kids. My dad used to say, look, be slick or be good. And right now, you're neither. Like, I don't care what you do, because if I don't find out, that means you're getting away with it. So water the bridge. But you keep getting caught, then I keep finding out, and then you get in more trouble. So it's like, make a decision. And I'm not sure which way I landed on that. Hello, Jake. Welcome to the men's room.
How's it going?
Hola!
So I got one that involves a Billy. I know we were talking about that earlier.
Oh, boy. Another Billy. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yep. So he's a friend of friends. He's from Florida, and he wanted us to take him out clubbing on Cap Hill. And I know they party a little different in Florida in their clubs.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So he's going up to every girl that's not dancing with the guy in the club, trying to get some. And poor Billy's like 5'2" and 80 pounds, so he's not really getting a lot of attention. And I was track of him for a while, and I didn't really care. I was having my own.
Hello.
I see the bouncer dragging him out by his arm, like dragging him out of the club. So I run over, and I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" He said, "Oh, your buddy's really drunk. He's kicked out. His eyes are looking in two different directions."
Hello?
Help, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Oh, sorry. What's the last thing you heard?
His eyes are looking two different directions.
But I figure that's just because he's from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, he actually has a glass eye, so I'm pretty sure that's normal for Florida, right?
So he does have a glass eye. Mm-hmm. Did you say that to the bouncer? Like, look, man, one of them's glass.
Right. Yeah, he didn't care. He was pulling him out. And there were some other friends that were with him that I was trying down and got them all back to the parking lot, got them in the car, and Billy's back in line at the club he just got kicked out of, trying to get back in. And I go over and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, oh, I didn't make out with anybody yet. I got to make out with someone before I go. And car and had to take him back to our friend's house that lives nearby. And he proceeded to throw up in the elevator on the way to the apartment.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, that's great.
You ever hung out with Billy again?
Actually, I saw him the next day at round one, just by complete chance, and I went up and said hi. And his friends were like, what the F, man? This is like the third person you've said hi to that knows you. Like, you've never been here before. So, that was funny.
But he's Billy from Florida. You know, Florida is a little different. I can't remember the hotel. So when I got confused, but it's on South Beach. We could afford one night, and that's because we split the room with another couple. But we said, to hell with it. Let's stay there. It was a pretty nice hotel, all things said. But because it's a nice hotel, I'm not going to say I was on my best behavior, but you dial it down a little bit. So I wasn't being particularly obnoxious. But that night, and we didn't know this was going to happen, Grey Goose was having some kind of vodka promotion. So if you went out by the pool, you got all the Grey Goose you could drink. I mean, there was no charge. There was nothing. And so my wife's like, you don't even really like vodka. I said, baby, it is free, and it is Grey Goose. And all I got to do is ask for it. That is all the sales pitch I need. So I drank pretty good. Keep in mind, I'd been drinking all day anyway, but I drank pretty good. And then I realized, like, oh, man, I'm going to puke, right? Like, oh, crap. So I get up, and it's a real... it's like a party atmosphere where people aren't going crazy. It's just kind of a good time, but fairly low-key because, again, it's Grey Goose. So I kind of walk out of there, and the way the hotel is set up, you have to walk down this kind of outdoor hallway. It is very long to get back to the hotel proper. I'm going to get up to the room. I'm going to puke in there. Don't want to make a scene. Well, my belly felt different. Like, oh, you're not going to make it to the room. You're not even going to make it really back to the hotel proper. You're in the hall. And they have these big-ass potted plants. So as not to puke in the causeway, I puke in a potted plant. I'm not happy about this or proud, but I just figured this is my best decision at this time. Well, they have security there, and there's like 4 security guards just lining down the hall, and they're security guards. These are not bouncers. These are security guards, right? They got a full suit on. They got the little earpiece, the CIA-looking crap, right? But they're built like bouncers. So I am puking into this poor tree, and I feel bad about it. And, of course, in my head, I'm like, man, when you look up, security is going to be here, right? And it's not that I care. Like, I can deal with security. You can throw me in jail overnight. Sure. I don't care. The truth is, I don't want to deal with my wife, right? Because she's going to be pissed if I get arrested. And these are the thoughts going through my head, like, whatever, right? So I'm puking. Sure enough, I look up. Security's there. And I'm just like, oh, man. And the guy goes, sir. And I'm just waiting for it. Are you okay? I said, I'm better now. Man, I'm sorry about the plane. Like, don't worry about it. So clean your mouth out. Go have a good time. That was it. Nice. That was the whole thing. Yep. I'm like, I love this place. Yep. I love it.
I had a man. Speaking of
sad, but I love you.
I had a buddy coming into town, man. This was not too long ago. This was a couple of years ago, and the first night he's going to stay at my place, and then after that, you know what I mean. He got a hotel because he was here for some type of work thing. Either way. Just so happens he's got another buddy who is also in town on a separate work event, but they're in town for the same weekend. All right. So we got a chance. We're going to hook up with them. And this is like on maybe it was a Saturday, whatever it was. So me and him go out, and he's drinking double vodka sodas. All right. This is about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We go to a rooftop bar down here we've been to before, and we start drinking. And then we're going to meet his buddy Dan later. We actually met down there at another time when we were, whatever. So, but he's going to meet us later on once he gets checked into his hotel and everything. He's got an afternoon flight. He should be in by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Right. Whatever. So my buddy just gets absolute, and I don't realize how hammered he's getting. But he is getting really, really hammered. And I'm like, oh, God, here we go. It's going to be one of those nights. And with him, it's not that he's not responsible. It's just that he...
Isn't he like an angry kind of drunk or something?
No, he gets real loud and real boisterous. But either way, I'm still going to meet his friend and a guy I know too,
right,
in a little while. But he's going down fast. All right. So I have this, do you have an Uber app? No. I don't have an Uber app. why don't you have a freaking Uber app? You know what I mean? What do you got? Lyft? He's got nothing.
Yeah,
right?
it's a fair question.
So, okay, it is. This is an adult person, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh God, you know, I'm staying. I'm not driving back to my house.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not at this point in the evening. There's no way. So I'm going to have to get him an Uber. And the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking about where he is, just in his mind and in his body.
Mm-hmm.
I am not putting this on me.
No.
Not on my Uber account, right? So I make the determination. I said, look, man, told the Uber guy, I said, listen, you need to do a 2-router here. I said, basically, we're going to go to my place, and then I'm going to need a ride back.
Put it back in the app, man. Got to go do a address.
And that's what he was going to do. You know what I mean? He was one way, and then, you know what I mean? Then he could figure it out. So the entire ride, he is being completely obnoxious. Talking crap to the driver.
Of course.
Like telling him what a piece of crap his car is. I mean, he was just gone.
Why?
For
Because
no
he's
reason.
drunk.
So I drag his ass into my living room, and I put him down on the couch, and I go back out to get the Uber to go back. That guy's gone. Now, it's okay. I can get another Uber. You know what I mean? It took about 15 minutes.
Sure.
Okay, for another Uber to come around. I get the Uber back. I go downtown. I meet with Dan. We have a good time. I explain to him that our buddy Scott is gone. I don't know if we can go back and wake him up. Well, we'll try to go back and wake his ass up, whatever the deal. So I hang with Dan. We get a couple more drinks in us, stay maybe for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Then we get into another Uber and go back to my place again. Now, I wake up that morning. Scott didn't wake up, by the way. He was...
Of course.
I get up the next morning, and I'm just curious about my Uber rating, which was spectacular, I might add, before that. Not that that really matters in anyone's, mind. Or
It does when you want them to pick your ass
I went from
up.
a 5 to a 4. Like,
okay, that's not the
boom,
worst.
Boom. I mean, like, it was still like, I was afraid he's going to throw up in there.
Right.
I was afraid of all this stuff, and it's like, man,
I've known many a bartender, and these bartenders, they have some regulars that'll close the bar, which is kind of, par for the course, but every once in a while, someone goes in there and they're just messed up, and these bartenders are very kind, and they go, look, we're going to get you an Uber, and they don't really give it a second thought. They've got it on their phone. So they get an Uber, they get the guy's name, right, or girl, whoever it is, and they stuff them in the Uber and send them on their way. About 95% of them tell me this is a mistake because you don't think about it, but on a night that they are off and they just want to get an Uber to go out and do their thing for a change, Uber doesn't want to come around because they have like a 1.5 rating. And it has nothing to do with anything they did, but they realize in the course of a week, the 7 different people they got an Uber for trying to look out for the really drunk people either puked in the car or, like you said, talked all this smack to the driver. The driver doesn't know. He doesn't know if you are the Uber app owner. It's just, I gave you a ride.
And this was a horrible experience.
Right. And so they gave a piss poor rating. And a lot of bartenders have told me, they're like, and we're done doing it. And it's almost like a buddy like yours kind of ruins it for anyone else that maybe the bartender would get an Uber for, because they're like, look, I don't think you're a bad person, but I don't know what's going to happen from the time you leave.
I can't put you in this car and send you to where you're supposed to be.
Because you're already drunk.
And expect that you're going to make it there okay.
Right.
Like, I have to accompany you on this. There's no way.
Yeah.
That's what sucks. Like, you ruined my night because I got to babysit your ass to go back home because I don't trust you to even be able to, find where I live, be able to work the door. You know what I mean? Like, the whole deal. So it's like, I got to go back. You know what I mean? And then he ruins my Uber rating.
That's better than, but you did the right thing, right? Because if you just sent him in an Uber home, then you're just gonna have a passed out dude.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so can I tell you what happened?
Like on the concrete or something in front of him.
But we figured, okay, we're gonna go back to my place, get his ass, see if he's okay, try to wake his ass up, whatever the deal is. So we get there, he's gone. So the first thing I do is I start scouring the neighborhood because we hit a couple bars there before we went downtown. So I start scouring the neighborhood, the places we went to see if he's back there. He is not back there. We cannot get a hold of him on his phone. I don't know where he is, right? His bag is gone. He was supposed to spend the night with me.
Oh, wow.
Everything's gone. So this is what happened, apparently. He thought that he was spending the night at the hotel that night. All right. So what does he do? He gets in a cab, all right, and he goes down to the hotel room that he's supposed to be in the next night, tries to check in. They won't check him in because he doesn't have a reservation until the next night, all right? So what does he do? He goes to Deja Vu. So at this point in time, you know what I mean? Like,
he's in a strip club?
He's in a strip club. hammered. I mean, hammered. I mean, gone hammered. He still needs to spend the night at my place.
Right.
So I'm trying to convince the doorman, like, hey, man, is there some jackalope in here he's like, oh, your buddy. Yeah, he's in a private room. And I'm just like, you know what? Dan, this is on you tonight. Like, you got to babysit this. I'm done. You know what I mean? He's got his bag somewhere. I don't know where it is. I'm out. So, like, I saw him, like, a day and a half later after his convention.
Right.
On a Sunday afternoon, like, you all right? He's like, yeah, man, a great time. That's a great city. Had so much fun. It's like, nothing happened. It's like, nothing happened.
Right.
Nothing happened.
You didn't do anything.
No, it was great. I love this place. It's awesome. Who ruined the good times for everyone else? 206-421-ROCK. It's like, come on, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too, is people, whenever you travel, it's just a different energy. You get fired up. You get excited.
Right.
You do, especially if you're traveling alone or if it's a boys' weekend. Like, if I'm with the kids, it's like, all right, I'm kind of drinking all day, but at no point are you doing shots. You're not getting drunk. You just kind of keep a smoothie on, right? And sure, when they go to bed, like, I'm going to hammer them down. But if it's us, like going back to San Diego, like, look, because my wife says, what you guys do? I'm like, what do you think we did? Like, we don't really go out and get into trouble. We found a bar, especially in San Diego, because it's very comfortable. You're half inside, half outside. And we drank all day long. And we met 10,000 different people, and we drank with them, and we had fun with them. Then you know what we did? We had to remember where our hotel was, what the name of it was. We eventually found it, and then we passed out. Yeah. And you know what we did the next day? We got them started drinking again. Like, that's pretty much all we do, man.
I vaguely remember this, but not all the way remember this. I do remember buying a Mexican wrestling mask. And so I wore this thing for like 3 hours in Old Town. They're hot, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you sweat your ass off. But I just thought it was funny to sit there with a mask on and drink. And then there's pictures of us, and I'm in the cab, and I'm still wearing the mask. I don't remember a lot of that. I know I walked into the hotel room with a mask on. People were just like, what is wrong with this guy? Right, they sell all kinds of crap in Old Town. You can buy whatever the hell you want.
I kind of respect that, though. Buy a mask, wear it.
I wore it the whole day. It was like,
you got your use out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I've definitely bought some cheesy T-shirts or whatever and been like, I'm wearing it.
And then, like, why did I think, what was the last one I bought? Somewhere in Florida, I was drunk, and it just said, I can't remember, but it ends with, it's like a political thing, but it just said, like, go F yourself, I approve this message. And I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing that. About 2 hours later, I'm like, why didn't anyone talk me out of it? I feel like an a-hole.
Yeah, right, I'll show them.
Right.
They'll read it on my shirt.
That's right. Who ruined the good times for everyone else? 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.